All right, if you're a contractor, you probably think that professional liability insurance is just for architects, engineers, or consultants. But here's the truth. More and more contractors are being held responsible for design errors, project specs, and advice that they never even billed for. In this video, we're going to discuss the reason that almost every contractor has a need for professional liability insurance. We'll talk about what it covers and why it's becoming more and more important nowadays. So first, let's address the gap in most insurance policies that leaves the exposure for professional liability insurance. Okay? When we think about what every contractor carries, that is your general liability insurance. Okay? That is your coverage for any bodily injury or property damage that occurs as a result of the work that you're doing, right? In short, general liability covers if you broke it or if you hurt somebody, okay? But what every single general liability policy excludes is financial losses. So claims in which there is no bodily injury or property damage, but there is still a financial loss, okay? And that is where professional liability comes into play. So case in point, let's say that you're an HVAC contractor and you're working on a job that is a remodel or a new build, and you say, hey, listen, we need to put in these two AC units at this size. This is what the ductwork needs to look like, only for the house to be built and for the air conditioning to never get the upstairs below 74 degrees. There's no property damage, there's no bodily injury, but what would be considered your design is the reason that this unit or whatever the work you did is not working the way that it's intended to. And as a result, your company is going to be liable for fixing it or redoing the project. So no bodily injury or property damage, but the financial loss will come back on your business in having to redo the job or having to indemnify the customer for the work that you did. Okay, so professional liability insurance is also known as errors and omissions coverage. Okay, in short, it covers financial losses caused by mistakes, errors, omissions, any professional advice. Sometimes there's coverage for subcontractors' liability. It is essentially in what I consider to be too good to be true because it covers your fuck ups as a contractor. Okay. Now, a lot of contractors don't carry this insurance because they will say, well, we don't do any design work. It's always signed off by somebody else, right? Or somebody else draws the plans. We do it to spec. But when we dig a little bit deeper and we have that conversation, there are plenty of jobs that a contractor will do in a given year where they didn't have specs from somebody else, where they designed the systems or the structure that was going into place that ultimately failed. And then they were on the hook or could be on the hook to have to redo that job and have to indemnify the customer without being paid twice for it. Mind you, that's not going to happen, right? So when you think about your overall insurance program, yes, everybody carries general liability insurance. If somebody gets hurt because of the work that you did, or if you burn down a building as a result of the work that you did, yes, your general liability will cover that. Right? Any bodily injury or property damage. But professional liability fills that gap for any financial losses that may result from the work that you do that don't lead to somebody getting hurt or something getting broken, right? No bodily injury or property damage. Okay? So think long and hard about this one because these claims are becoming more and more common. Whether you work with homeowners on a residential basis, in the commercial space, professional liability is a part of your program that you absolutely need to consider. And I will tell you this, at DVCI, this is one of the coverages that we implement the most with our contractors, and it is by far the most affordable coverage that you can add on. Depending on the size of your business and the scope of your work, this often will cost less than a fraction of what your overall insurance spend is, and it will fill a very big gap that you have. For any questions about this, please drop a comment, reach out to us at dvcontractorsinsurance.com. And as always, like this video, subscribe, and share it with somebody who you may think will find this helpful.